Hey everybody, David Pingree here. KTM invited us out today to go over their new line of two-strokes. Now this is a bigger debate than whether you're Republican or Democrat here. Do you like two-strokes, four-strokes? It's an online battle that's been raging. I say let's just call a truce here and enjoy bikes for what they are. The new KTMs have a bunch of changes. They're a great batch of bikes, a lot of fun to ride. We're going to show you some of those changes that they've made, and we're going to take some laps and actually have some fun on them. So let's have a look. For 2012, the KTM 250 gets a brand new V-Force reed block. It's the new style. It also gets a linkage, new swing arm, new suspension settings, a little bit stiffer fork, which is something they've been pushing for. Bike's all new frame. That 250 is incredibly fast. The 125, again, gets the swing arm, linkage, new frame. They did make some head mods, some porting mods on the cylinder. Lots of power there. The 150, also swing arm linkage, suspension changes, a little bit stiffer fork, and it got some changes to the engine as well. And all around, that's an amazing bike to ride.
The kind of bike I usually ride is a 450. I've ridden a 450 for a couple of years, so to get back on two strokes, it's a lot of fun. You have to get used to it. It's definitely a different bike, but once you get used to it, the things rip. They're so much fun. The three bikes we rode today, I would say my favorite would have to be a toss-up between the 150 and the 250. The 125 is an unbelievable bike, but it's just real hard for me to ride. I just have to mat it and keep it there, and unfortunately I'm not in condition to do that at the moment. So the 150 is really, really good. 250 two-stroke is sick too. So for me to go out and ride good two-strokes is definitely a pleasure. Two-strokes.
Marvin Musquin, he gets his first overall victory at Washougal Washington. He went 1-1. You know what I mean? What a victory for KTM. You know what I mean? As both they swept in the Premier class and the 250 lights class. You know what I mean? This has been a long time waiting for Marvin Musquin. You know, you all know that, you know, he's just come back from recovering from knee surgery. You know what I mean? After missing out on the Supercross season. So, you know, he came out aggressive at Washougal Moto 1. I only managed to watch Moto 1 of the lights class, and I watched both motos of the 450 class. But I know that Marvin Musquin took the overall, but I'll give you my synopsis of the second moto after I watch it. Or right now I'm going to give you my synopsis of what I saw in the first moto of Washougal Washington motocross out of Marvin Musquin. You know, he got a decent start in top 5, you know what I mean? Quickly worked his way to the front, passed Sears leader Jeremy Martin in the process of working his way through, and he even passed the Frenchman Christopher Purcell, because you know Purcell's usually up front, you know what I mean? After that, you know, Marvin Musquin just had a clear track. He disappeared and sprinted throughout the whole race, you know. He was on the attack. He wasn't to be denied on this day. As we can see, you know, he was riding flawless, and early, he set the turn early on in the day, just like Ryan Dungey did, by setting the fastest lap time. So that enabled him to have first gate pick. You know what I mean? That, you know, him setting the fastest lap time, you know, it's been a psychological thing for him too, recovering from knee surgery. He hasn't been getting down finishes, but now, you know, he came with confidence, setting that fastest lap time at Washougal Washington Motocross 2014. So, you know, and like I said, that enabled him to get first gate pick. So, you know, his confidence was high by setting the fastest lap time, you know what I mean? It played in his psyche that he could do it, he could win, you know what I mean? And he transferred that desire and hunger into the actual race itself, which was good for him and good for KTM, because you know how in this sport of motocross confidence is, you know what I mean? Confidence for your psychological, you know what I mean? It can boost your team morale too, you know what I mean? When a rider's coming back from injury and doing so well on a slump, you know what I mean? Sometimes they don't believe that they could win until they actually get that win. But I like what I'm seeing out of him and KTM. They put in the work. You know, they didn't give up, you know what I mean? His knee surgery, recovering from an ACL. I think that's the same ACL he had tore previously, so that ain't easy at all, recovering from an ACL injury, you know what I mean? But his came back is strong, and I think his back fit. His 100% now. He marked his territory at Washougal, and I would have liked to have seen him healthy throughout, you know, not tear his ACL. I would have seen what his like had he had started at the beginning of the season. But you know, that's how the sport of motocross goes sometimes, and you know that too, right? Yes, you definitely know that. Yes, I'm talking to you. That's how the sport of motocross goes. You know what I mean? You got injuries, you know what I mean? So you know, and the riders have to work through them, you know what I mean? By the ACL, you know, you need recovery time, 6 months off the bike, like what Marvin Musquin had. So it's a recovery process. But this sport of motocross is gnarly, you know what I mean? And a lot of the riders ride with injuries. People don't understand, like, you know, these riders got different sort of knocks that they've been banged up with through the week, or fall at the track at practice or in races. They even get banged up and they got to come over and finish the first moto if they get banged up in the first moto, and do the second moto too, you know what I mean? Guys are riding with bruise, bruising, sprains, you know what I mean? Little injuries, little knocks, little lingering injuries. So you know, there's a lot of things involved in this sport of motocross. It's a very tough sport. So you know, you wouldn't really understand how tough it is until you got on the other side of it, or really appreciate it until you actually threw your leg over that bike and you see what these riders have to go through. It is a physically demanding sport. But you know, not to take away from Marvin Musquin, I'm gonna get back to him. You know, congratulations, Marvin Musquin, KTM take first overall victory. Good Pearl 1-1's the hungry, the aggressive, three rounds remaining. I would like to see him keep up the momentum and carry that swing right on through to the Supercross. So job well done for working through the ups and downs for KTM. I know Roger the course is smiling on both his Premier class. They swept the Premier class and the Lights class. So you know, they're finally up front in the Lights class. Let's see if they keep their momentum up and carry it over for the rest of the season, and if Marvin Musquin could do it, carry it over to Supercross. But lastly, I want to reiterate and say it again. Shout out, you know, KTM gets first overall victory. KTM rider Marvin Musquin gets first overall victory. Job well done, guys.
Hello, Marvin Musquin, Red Bull KTM Factory team. Welcome to the Mexico GP 2012.